In Los Angeles, a woman fleeing a traffic stop drives through Venice Beach and actually floors it into the ocean. Swimming out into the sea, leaving behind her 2 dogs still inside her SUV. Now, as she tried to swim away, the Coast Guard was actually called, but the sheriff's ship came to the rescue. And as the driver's vehicle was fished out of the water, both dogs were saved, but something tells me they knew what was going down too. So as the Daily Mail covered the story, they reported the police were just trying to pull her over for speeding, before she fled through the freeways all the way to Venice Beach, driving into the sea. She was later rescued and treated, then arrested for fleeing and animal endangerment, and both dogs were later busted for a kilo of— no, I just made that up, they just got taken to animal control. And the next morning the SUV was finally removed from the beach. Now obviously most people were just upset about the animals being involved, so luckily both of them survived and likely won't be with that idiot driver anymore. But what everybody's really asking, why would she go to those great lengths of endangering her doggos, destroying her BMW, and potentially being taken by Poseidon himself, if the only thing she was escaping was a speeding ticket? Now normally Reddit is only nonsense, but this reply says that he knew a guy that also drove off a pier in a police chase because he was moving large quantities of substances and wanted to quickly flush them into the ocean. Now I'm not saying getting involved in those trades is smart, but I could see how doing 6 months for endangerment is infinitely better than the 20 years for trying to move weight without a government contract. So if that was actually the predicament she was in, how quickly would she be going from crazy to a modern day MacGyver? Now I honestly still label her as nuts, as this other unverified Reddit claim states they personally know her, but she'll get away with it as it's not her first mental break. So I personally believe that story over anything, as Venice Beach used to be my favorite place to skate, until it got overwhelmed by people just as crazy as Pablo Escobar driving her Boston Terriers into the ocean, because you wouldn't believe the types of criminal behavior that are simply ignored over mental health excuses. I've seen tourists chased down by homeless people with pit bulls, only for locals to say, no, he doesn't need jail, he needs a social worker. So you'd constantly see bums committing random attacks against each other, and LAPD just trying to do their best to avoid interacting with them, as even when they did, they'd be put right back onto the streets, or in this case, the beach. And even though that sounds insane, I think that's the precursor to seeing an SUV flying into the sea, thinking that Poseidon will protect her from the police. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on how the military being deployed into New York City subways somehow made crime worse.